Hello everyone and welcome back to John Bell's. Okay, so in today's video we're going to be taking a look, opening this box and reviewing this RMS Titanic Lifeboat from Artisan Latina. Okay, so I managed to recently purchase this kit. I bought it off somebody from eBay. It's a retired kit, so it's quite difficult to get old nowadays, so I had to obviously, luckily I managed to find one. I had to pay over the odds from the original kit price, but you expect to do that when you get kits that are now retired. Okay, so one of the things I really like is the box art. You pretty much looks like you're almost getting a full-size picture of the completed lifeboat, and it pretty much you can use that for a reference for the colour guide. So pretty much all it's going to be in this kit is a little bit of white, a tiny little bit of red, and mostly a little bit of maybe black, or maybe we can use like a burnt umber stain for this this top rim. But then the rest of the kit, as you can see from the interior, it's pretty much all just going to be maybe some linseed oil and just well, pretty much just stain it that way, pretty much just using the natural colours itself and then staining that up. Yeah, so that's a really nice kit. So the technical detail, obviously, when its length, it's going to be 285mm across, so that's pretty much, as you can see on the cutting mat, pretty much going to be a length around about that big, so it's quite a big kit. The height is only 55mm, so I'm going to stand about that high, and the beam is around about 100mm, so the beam, yeah, it's quite a decent sized beam. Yeah, so it's going to be a really nice kit. You can see it's copyrighted, it says 2008, so I don't actually know when this kit became discontinued. All I've known that when I started looking for it around about 5 years ago, just couldn't find it anywhere. Okay, so let's open the box and have a look. So it's pretty much like a standard model kit, wooden model kit that you get. You tend to get like a little tray that tends to have all the little brass parts, you know, the photo etch parts and the anchor parts. So that's pretty much comes as standard. So as you can see, there's only quite a small collection need doing in this kit. But one of the things that I really do like is that you still get an instruction booklet. Nowadays they've moved away from instruction booklets, and you tend to get obviously instructions on like a DVD that you can either look at it through a tablet, or you can print out the instructions. So I'm a little bit more old school, and I'd like a little bit of an instruction book in my hand. So like I said, this is only quite a small kit, and from looking through it when I first received it, there is only actually around about 12 instructional stages. So yeah, hopefully this build won't take too long at all. Like I say, they do show you to airbrush this hull, but I'll probably, because I'm a bit more traditional, a bit more a traditional hand painter, I'll probably just hand paint this. And then it shows you adding all the cover straps and yeah, all the details, the little rudder, the signs for the Liverpool and the RMS, the SS Titanic I should say. Okay, so we'll have another look at the lifeboat instructions in a minute. I'll just go through some of the wood that comes with the kit. So you get this little like half MDF, half laminate. I'm assuming this is going to make up the stand, so that's just one little piece, and you get a couple of little stand brackets. But like I said, there's only really, let's open this up. So you put the stand to one side, and there's only really around about, yeah, so there's only around about 4 little sheets of pre-cut plywood. So there's not, like I say, there's not really a lot into the construction of this. This is the one that's pretty much going to make all the keel and the ribs. There's one that's obviously you can use to make up the rudder, some brackets. So it's quite an interesting one. So around the lifeboat, you have like little compartments where clearly like they have some doors that things can be put in. So there's a couple of them to fit. And then there's a section that's got a little bit of like where it looks like it's dried on, but that'll be okay. We can just turn them over and use them on the opposite side. But I think that's looks like a bit of walnut, so I'll say that would look nice. That'll be have that all nicely just stained up. So that's quite nice. So like I say, so there's not a lot in the kit whatsoever. We get some dowel that we're going to make up some obviously little oars, and then most of the construction for the planking is we'll get these 2x7s, or no, actually they're 1.5 by 7. So I've heard from people that these are a little bit tricky to plank, and it's normally, if you get stuff like this, it's normally 7, but just in my hand it should be quite easy to bend, because the radius of the ribs, as you can see when we're coming towards to be faired, they're not extreme, so I think we should be okay. Probably just soak the about 2 inch at the tips. We'll cut them to length when we need to, and then probably just soak a couple of inch off the tips, and I think that'll be fine. And then we'll just get a little bit more, I'm sure it looks like walnut or teak that we're going to use just for the decorative parts. And same again, all I plan to do with these is just stain them with a little bit of linseed oil, just bring out some of the natural beauty and the wood, and I think that'll look really nice. I think it'll look nice displayed, as you can see, just by staining all the wood, all the natural wood. That'll look really nice. So like I said, we get a little container with some parts in it. Just get them open. So we got them some little life preservers, so all I'm assuming we'll just paint them white, and then just paint them little crosses in red. A little bit of photo etch, not a great deal. That's mainly for the SS Titanic and the, yeah, just I think in the Liverpool side. So that's pretty much all there is in photo etching, so that's not going to take a great deal. A couple of parts are going to make up a tiny little anchor. That's actually already stained brass, so that probably doesn't even need painting at all. We can probably just glue that together and use that. And there's a little bit of thread that we're going to use mainly just to tie onto the anchor, and a little bit then we're going to go around the oars. And looks like we get a tiny little mast as well, so yeah. And also we get a couple of tiny little bailing buckets. So that's pretty much the entirety of the kit. And like I say, I don't think it'll take that long to do. Famous last words, but I don't think so. Like I say, these go back into the manual. And like I say, we've just got 12 pretty much instructions pages. So pretty much step 1, we're going to put all the ribs in. Step 2 is looking like then we're going to add the bow and the stern blocks, and then step 3 is we're going to have to fair it, and same again, literally going to be the bow and the stern block, and pretty much the first 3 ribs on either side, port and starboard side, will need fairing, and I don't think much else will really. So then we get to the planking stage. So this is a different kind of planking to what you normally do on a shipbuilding. Is this time we're actually going to slightly overlap it. So it'll be quite interesting, because I've not done any planking where we overlap for quite some time. So what it's kind of do is we'll have it so out of 7mm block, we'll have it so it's just planked over by a 2mm overlap. But yeah, that just makes that a bit more interesting, as you can see from the box art as we overlap. That's how that looks, and like I say, very traditional for either lifeboats or launches or things like that. Does make it a little bit more tricky to plank, especially as it's the curvature as you're coming towards the bow and the stern. It makes it a little bit more trickier, but not that difficult really. And when I start doing the build series, I'll show you all the really simple techniques just to make that come together. So then once we've done all the planking, We've got a little bit more internal fairing. Some of the ribs have to be removed, and then we're kind of putting in all the base of the lifeboat. Like I say, that actually tells you to paint it black, but I've got some burnt umber, so I think that'll actually look really nice, just having that stained burnt umber. And then we get these walnut blocks or teak. I'm not quite sure. I'll have to look exactly where it's walnut or teak. They're the parts I showed you a second ago, and that's pretty much going to encase quite a lot of the internal planking. So we don't really have to worry about making the most amazing job on the inside of the planking, because as you can see, once you put the floor in, and then when you put them top planks in as well, and then we get that internal banding in, and then we get another layer of planking that goes over that base, the base. It pretty much everything on the interior hull won't be seen. So yeah, so if you like building something like this, it's quite good for a first kit, because a lot of the interior planking, if you make any mistakes, or it's all going to be hidden by exterior planking. Yeah, so that's going to make a really interesting kit, and this is why one of the reasons why I've wanted to get hold of this kit for quite a long time. So like I say, they showed you how to mask it up and airbrush it. I have got an airbrush, I could airbrush it, but I do quite fancy just hand painting this. And same again, then we've got this top band, and then we separate it by a nice strip of let's say teak, and then all that will be stained, and it's going to really set it off. Then I'm just going to put on all the little bands, a couple of signs, and then just all the interior parts, and then that'll be the lifeboat finished. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to this. I think it's going to make a really interesting build. And one of the good things as well, it can pretty much all be entirely built and filmed just on one small cutting mat. So I haven't got to change cameras around. I can just pretty much have this over the shoulder camera like I do have now, and I can just build and film away. So the plan is, hopefully, I just want to do this over a couple of videos. Maybe my plan is to do maybe 2 1-hour videos, or you never know, you like I say, things you always take longer than you expect, but that's my plan, is just to make this over 2 1-hour videos rather than having a big long drawn out build series. So anyway, I hope you kind of enjoyed the video, you enjoyed the little review. I really wish that this was a kit that pretty much was easy to pick up so people could build it along with me, but if you obviously do happen to find this kit, I think you still can find them somewhere. You're probably going to expect to pay a little bit more than you'd like, but I think if anybody was really interested in the RMS Titanic, especially for people that's building the Trumpeter Titanic or the Hatchet Titanic, to have this at the side of the display case when you've got that on display as well, I think that'll really set it off. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. If you're really interested in obviously wooden model ships, model planes, that's pretty much 90% of what I do on this channel. So don't forget to subscribe for future builds. And also, if you're new to the channel, you'd like to see me building HMS Victory, I've got nearly 90 videos on a playlist, and you can just click on that just there. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all again soon. Take care.